Now in Heat 2, Mateus Herdy, the young Brazilian, he just turned 16 yesterday, up against Kobayashi from California.
Yeah, good matchup here. I really like this one. I've seen both these guys during the warm-up sessions looking pretty good, lighting it up out there, so this should be a nice little duel. Looks like they're both starting off on trying to find their own separate peaks to start, see if it ends up that way.
And go through the draw. Here's Kobayashi on his opening wave. Powerful surfer, really strong, low center of gravity, and he chucks dump truck loads of water around the place.
Yeah, I really love his technique. You know, we talk about surfing low. He does that, generates a lot of speed out of those legs and some power, and he's been on display all week in the warm-up sessions. It's funny when some of the guys were a little nervous about whether we would go or not. They were nervous every time he would paddle out because they're like, we really don't want to go right now, and if you make it look too good, they're going to make it run.
Yeah. Here goes Mateus Herdy. He's in trunks, which is great to see. It is summer here in Australia. He's throwing plenty of water around the shop, and hopefully he's taking plenty of confidence out of his strong opening round performance. He's making the most of this as well, straight through to the inside. Stands tall, gives a little snap of the fingers, so he's happy with his opener. So 4 minutes down, 26 to go. Kobayashi with the one score on the board. Both surfers with scores to drop in. How did Kay get to this point in the third round? Well, in round one, he came up against Cody Young, who looks really strong. And Jake Elkington from South Africa, he came second in that heat. And in round two, he showed no mercy for Kehu Butler, the Kiwi, who just jumped off the plane. And Kay Kobayashi said, I'm sorry, mate. Don't want to hear it, and then went to town, put together a very strong 12.77 total, and this is how he's found himself in round three. He's up against Mateus Herdy, who's doing this on his forehand, so this is the replay of his opening wave, and it was a good one. It wasn't big by any standards, but boy oh boy did he milk it for all it was worth.
He really did, and you know, that first turn was a lot, just getting a speed little floater over the rest of that section and being able to manufacture a couple turns on that little right. So, and I kid you not, he looks like the spitting image of a young Bruce Irons.
Baby Bruce.
Yeah, he's just full baby Bruce. I remember when Bruce first started coming to California, making these little trips to Newport and Huntington and surfing the little events there. It's you see the Volcom logo and everything up there.
And there's all the social aspect of things. Once the CT gets going, there's the fantasy surfer. Of course, there's all the news, updates, videos, and photos that you could want from your favourite surfers. Here goes Mateus again. He got the tail really high on that one. And much like we talked about earlier, those one-hitters are going to be very crucial, and there wasn't a lot more he could have done with that wave, Chris.
No, he made the most of it, but I think he's going to be looking for more, obviously, like that first wave that offered him a couple targets to choose from. Ideal wave is something like a combination of his first and second, because you can see he's unleashing in the air on those reverses. He and Kay have both all week just owned it. Yeah. They're just flying.
You see him, he just eyes off this section, and I love how they throw it at the beach.
Yeah.
And he got the tail high, and he really projected out into the flats. It's very technical, and on such a small wave, just to be able to do that so fluently is really fantastic and strong showing.
Like you said, one maneuver wave, flying down the line, just got way out there, pushed that tail way out to the beach, lands it out in the flats, and comes out clean. So Cody Young and Quinn Bruce, Harley Ross Webster, Takita, Ethan Ewing, and John, those guys are all standing by for heats coming up, and they're watching those two scores going, okay, wait a minute. He got one wave with one maneuver and got a 7. That other one, he didn't really get the big closeout mover, but he linked a few too. So there's a couple different paths to victory out there.
Absolutely.
All right, we have our first surfer through to round 4 here at the World Junior Championships at Kiama. Good job, Marcos. Well done, mate.
Thank you, yeah. Feels so good. Make it to round 4. And I hope we keep rolling like that. So I feel good. Yeah. I was really stoked.
Yeah, well, good heat. You surfed very well. Obviously, that stoke was shared by Mateus and the camp on the hill. Did you have a special game plan? They came down. I saw him whisper something into your ear.
Yeah, they tell me a couple things, but myself, I just go and I get that motivation and go out there and I try to win it, you know? Try to do good.
Well, you did a great job in very testing conditions. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, boys.
Awesome. Thanks, boys.
All right, there it is. Cheers, JJ. A great interview with a very happy Marco Mignot from France. And, you know, sometimes these guys do surprise themselves. It seems like Marco didn't really come in with too many expectations, and he is buzzing on getting through to round 4. While we were talking to JJ, we just saw Kobayashi light up a longer right. Looked like there was a bit of variety in amongst his turns as well, so hopefully we can cue up the replay. Here we go, Chris.
Yeah, this was a fantastic wave for Kay. You could see the speed generated right there. He had some open face to work with. A couple beautiful snaps off the top, and then another closeout Rio. Loosens the tail there too. I'll tell you what, he told me this morning that he jumped on a little bit wider board, so he's sort of gone to a pitching wedge in these conditions, and it's paid off.
We know that he's got plenty more to come. Here is some live action. This is Mateus Herdy looking to build upon his lead. Just the floater so far. That's a check turn. Nice wrap there. Held his rail for a while. And got vertical on the end section too. So he's looking to replace a pair of 7s. Not too sure whether that will have done it. Here goes Kobayashi. This is a nice looking wall. I like this angle too. Bit more of a steep section. And there is the tail high reverse. And he's done it very nicely. So, Chris, we saw Mateus drop a 7 before for the one hitter. I think that's got to be in the same category, right?
Yeah, this is where the judges, have a lot of homework to do. They're going to start comparing notes, look at amplitude, little distance traveled in the air, speed of rotation, how cleanly they landed it. But like everything about this from Kay, look how compact he gets on that landing. So impressive.
Yeah, that one was never in doubt. The board was just glued to his feet, whipped the rotation around. The judges love it. We all love it when the tail gets super high. So out on the flats, put it down on the bolts, rode out without an issue. And here's the replay of Mateus's wave.
Yeah, technically the surfing on this wave was so solid. He surfed it perfectly. Obviously there's no huge maneuvers on this wave, so I don't know if it's going to really crack into his high scoring range, but it's a fun little excuse for us to watch the kid surf.
Last wave for red, Mateus Herdy was a 4.8. Doesn't go into his top 2. And now we're seeing him take off. He's a long way back. It's a racy section. Can he get around? And he's not happy with that one. Pulls the pin. That's just going to be a minus score for the Brazilian surfer. And we're now going to look at the 7.23 and the 5.83 side by side. So it's hard to...
So close, but yeah, I mean...
Split those two.
I think Mateus just got a little more distance out of his leap.
Yep.
If he was like a sort of a long jump competition, looked like he got a little further out, and maybe even a little higher. Out here, been standouts. There goes Mateus again, finding a little racetrack on the inside, launches it up, brings it down, and taps the whitewater.
And maybe lands himself in that lady's Instagram in the process.
Absolutely.
And he has a look, not interested at all. Now Mateus makes his break. So these guys are probably about 30 metres apart. Mateus, without priority, has found a left, but decided it's not a left that he has any interest in. So as both guys are there sitting around hoping for a wave.
Probably would have been a good score. And yeah, maybe that's what changed the heat. But yeah, conditions were really hard, and yeah, it's tough to lose like this.
You've been really successful. You got so many titles. Obviously, one of the greatest young junior surfers in the world. You're here already.
Wave. And here we go, back in live action.
Yeah, Mateus Herdy, he's flying down the line now. He's taken to the sky. Huge air, but his board just got away from him. He almost had too much time to think about that section, I reckon.
I know. I don't think he was kind of at a loss, just realizing he had options there. And a beautiful style going into the air. Everything looked great. But we'll take a look at the replay and see what went wrong.
So we see Kay splashing some water. Does he think that maybe he should have taken that? Was it a missed opportunity?
Yeah, maybe. Because he did have priority right there, and that looked like a pretty nice little racetrack. He's probably wondering what he could have done with that thing.
All right, he looks like he's got a bit of steam up here. He's splashing the water a second ago. He was thrashing to get into this one. He's going to crack it hard on his first turn. Now some variety. Throws the tail around, and he'll be happy with that one. So 15 seconds to go. He's looking for a monster score. This heat is all but over. What's Mateus going to do on the last wave? He's eyeing off his section. He's raced it. As the buzzer goes, he throws another big tail high air reverse, and he's going to stand tall. And that body language should suggest he thinks he's through to the next round. We're going to wait for some scores. We're going to be on hold before we get the next heat underway. Both surfers, well, we saw Mateus go for the massive air that he couldn't stick. Kei Kobayashi on the wave behind tied together a really nice combination of manoeuvres. And that's the one Kei was probably kicking himself being a little bit deep because Mateus got this wall. He just stood on the tail. He was racing. Right about here we were expecting fireworks and his foot slips. He sort of got stuck halfway between thinking, should I go for the air reverse or the big straight air? And then this is how Kei struck back.
Yeah, he caught around that section. Got a couple little opportunities here. Made the most of this. But I don't think that's going to be the 8.57 he's looking for. So it's a tough one, man. That was a tough match. These guys were so evenly matched, both surfing really well. And look forward to seeing both of them in the future. But to me, I would have to wager, and again, I've been wrong, Mateus Herdy is going through.
Mateus Herdy, his last wave was a 6.43. Does not go into his top two, but is more than enough to send him straight through to round 4.